What's up, healthy and happy fam? Are you prepared to truly invest in your longevity and add years of vibrancy to your life? That's what we're covering in today's video. 10 science-backed, evidence-based tips that can substantially increase your odds of living a long, healthy life free of chronic disease and preventable illnesses that cut lives short. I'm not just talking about being able to check more years off on the calendar, but maximizing your functional lifespan so you can continue enjoying independence, mental sharpness, physical vitality, and quality of life in those bonus years too. These habits draw from multiple long-term gold standard studies following hundreds of thousands of people over decades. We're talking peer-reviewed, published research, not unsubstantiated bro science or gimmicks, just pure data and expert-backed facts. Now you may already be practicing some of these longevity boosters, but I guarantee some will surprise you with just how profound an impact they can have on extending both your lifespan and health span when consistently prioritized. So let's stop wasting time and start adding longevity. The first habit is to run away from is smoking. This first tip is extremely important. If you smoke, the single best thing you can do for your health and longevity is to quit. Smoking accounts for almost 1 out of every 5 deaths in the United States each year. It increases your risk of lung cancer by a staggering 25 times compared to non-smokers. But lung cancer is just the tip of the iceberg. Smoking also causes chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, which makes it extremely difficult to breathe over time. It massively raises your risk of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular problems by damaging your heart and blood vessels. Smoking even increases your likelihood of developing diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and vision loss. Basically, it's just brutally hard on your entire body over decades of exposure. The good news is that no matter how long you've smoked, quitting can rapidly start reducing your risk of smoking-related diseases and premature death. Within just 1 year of quitting, your excess risk of heart disease drops by half. Within 5 to 10 years, your risk of stroke returns to that of a non-smoker. So if you're a smoker, resolving to quit truly is the single most impactful thing you can do to improve your health and increase your odds of living longer. There are so many free resources and support programs to help you quit for good. The second habit to adopt is to be physically active. You've heard it a million times, exercise is crucial for good health. But the longevity benefits of regular physical activity are truly profound. Large, long-term studies confirm that achieving the recommended 150 minutes per week of moderate exercise cuts your overall risk of mortality by over 30%. And we're not just talking about being less likely to have a heart attack or develop diabetes, though exercise certainly reduces those risks too. Physical activity provides a broad array of benefits that extend your longevity. It strengthens your muscles and bones, preventing falls and fractures as you get older. It boosts your immune function, helping your body fight off infections and diseases. It improves blood flow and cardiac health. It reduces inflammation, a key driver of many age-related conditions. And it supercharges your body's ability to regulate insulin and metabolize glucose properly. Best of all, you don't have to run marathons or spend hours at the gym to get these benefits. Something as simple as a brisk 30-minute walk most days of the week is enough to make a huge impact. Or you could do yard work, go dancing, swimming, cycling, anything that gets your body moving. The key is making regular physical activity a habit and a consistent part of your lifestyle. That provides exponential longevity benefits compared to being sedentary. It's truly one of the best free medicines available. Another thing to look out for is your body weight. Carrying excess weight, especially around your midsection, can take a major toll on your longevity. In fact, In fact, obesity is now considered one of the leading preventable causes of premature death worldwide. Here's why. Excess body fat, particularly visceral fat surrounding your organs, drives up inflammation levels throughout your body. It's linked to higher risks of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and certain types of cancer like breast and colon cancer. The good news is that even just modest weight loss can provide big benefits. Losing just 5 to 10% of your total body weight is enough to significantly improve blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and markers of inflammation if you're overweight or obese. Now, I'm not saying you have to strive for an unrealistic body weight or try fad diets that are virtually impossible to stick to long term. But getting to and maintaining a healthy BMI in the 18.5 to 24.9 range can add years to your life expectancy. Combining a balanced, calorie-controlled diet focused on nutrient-dense whole foods with regular physical activity is the winning strategy. Don't obsess over the number on the scale. Focus on developing sustainable habits for a lifestyle you can maintain forever. Next is to eat a plant-based diet. What you eat has a massive influence on your longevity and overall health, and the evidence increasingly points to the benefits of a plant-based diet focused on fruits, veggies, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and healthy plant oils. Let's look at some of the largest, most well-respected studies on this topic. The Nurses' Health Study and Health Professionals Follow-Up Study, which followed over 200,000 people for decades, found that those with diets emphasizing healthy plant proteins like nuts, beans, lentils, and whole grains had a significantly reduced risk of premature death. Similarly, the Pure study of over 135,000 people across 18 countries showed that those whose diets were based mostly on plant-derived foods had longer lifespans and lower risks of conditions like heart disease and diabetes. So what makes plant-based diets so beneficial? For one, they're naturally high in fiber, antioxidants, phytochemicals, and other nutrients that reduce inflammation and fight diseases. Plant proteins also come packaged with healthy fats, minerals, and no cholesterol. Plus, whole food plant-based diets tend to be low in sodium, saturated fat, and the preservatives and other additives found in many processed and fast foods. They almost force you to eat more nutrient-dense, minimally processed foods. Now, I'm not saying you can never eat meat, dairy, or eggs, but upping your intake of nutrient-packed plant foods while limiting your consumption of highly processed items and unhealthy fats can work wonders for extending your longevity. Another thing to ensure is that you stay socially connected. When you think about ways to increase your longevity, having an active social life and avoiding isolation probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind. But the data shows that staying socially connected as you get older is critically important for living longer. Loneliness and social isolation are surprisingly strong predictors of premature death, on par with the risks of obesity and physical inactivity. Multiple large studies have found that socially isolated adults have around 30% higher risk of early mortality compared to those with strong social ties. The mechanisms behind this are still being researched, but loneliness seems to impair immune function, sleep quality, and mental health while raising inflammation levels. It exacerbates conditions like high blood pressure and heart disease. On the flip side, having close relationships and an engaged social life provides a sense of meaning, purpose, and belonging that's deeply protective for our overall well-being as we age. Spending quality time with friends and loved ones reduces stress and boosts mood-regulating neurotransmitters. So make it a priority to nurture your closest relationships and friendships. Invest time in your community through clubs, volunteering, taking group classes, or religious, spiritual gatherings if that's meaningful to you. And be proactive about reaching out and making new connections as you get older, since it gets tougher with life transitions. Having both quality relationships and a strong, broader social network is ideal for longevity. And the next thing to ensure is that you always challenge your brain. We know that physical exercise is key for maintaining a healthy body as we get older. But engaging in regular cognitive exercise and mentally stimulating activities is just as crucial for preserving brain health and longevity. The latest neuroscience shows that providing your brain with frequent exercise through learning, problem solving, curiosity, and new experiences helps build up cognitive reserve. This reserve creates stronger neural networks and pathways that make your brain more resilient to age-related changes. Conversely, leading a sedentary, unstimulating lifestyle can allow cognitive decline to set in more rapidly as you get older. Use it or lose, it definitely applies to our brain's capabilities. So what activities provide this mental workout? Reading, taking educational courses, learning a new language or instrument, playing strategy games, doing puzzles and brain teasers. Anything that requires focused concentration and thinking in novel ways. But beyond those direct cognitive skills, nurturing creativity, curiosity, and an openness to new experiences also exercises your brain's adaptive capabilities. Constantly exposing your brain to new sights, ideas, and perspectives builds resilience. The great news is that it's never too late to start challenging your brain more frequently. Studies show that even in our later years, we can continue generating new neurons and neural pathways through regular cognitive exercise. So make lifelong learning and mental stimulation a priority. The next thing to ensure is that you get enough quality sleep. When it comes to living a long, healthy life, getting enough high-quality sleep each night cannot be overstated. Yet, in our go-go-go modern culture, so many of us sacrifice sleep for other priorities. This comes at a major cost to our longevity. Chronic sleep deprivation and poor sleep take a profound toll on nearly every system in our body over time. It drives up inflammation levels and dysregulates our immune function, leaving us more vulnerable to infections and diseases. It impairs our body's ability to regulate appetite hormones and metabolize glucose properly. Lack of sleep also strains our cardiovascular system by raising blood pressure and increasing risk factors for heart disease and stroke. It's even been linked to a higher likelihood of developing Alzheimer's disease and accelerated cellular aging. On the flip side, getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night provides a longevity boost. During sleep, our bodies can devote resources to cellular repair, memory consolidation, hormone regulation, and other vital restorative processes. To improve your sleep hygiene, stick to a regular sleep schedule. Limit blue light exposure before bed. Keep your bedroom dark and cool, and avoid large meals and stimulants like caffeine close to bedtime. Consider using supplements like melatonin or relaxation techniques if you have insomnia. Getting enough sleep is one of the simplest yet most impactful lifestyle habits for adding years to your life expectancy. It's a biological necessity. Prioritize getting high-quality shut-eye. Also, don't forget to manage stress. In our fast-paced modern lives, it's impossible to avoid stress entirely. But letting chronic high-stress levels fester takes an immense toll that undermines our longevity over decades. Learning to proactively manage stress is crucial. When we experience acute stress, our bodies pump out inflammatory molecules and the hormone cortisol in a state known as the fight-or-flight response. This is actually beneficial in true emergency situations to amp us up. But when we live in a near constant stressed state with this reaction continually triggered, inflammation levels stay sky high while cortisol dysregulates our metabolism. It ravages our cardiovascular system by raising blood pressure and cholesterol. Chronic stress makes us more susceptible to viral infections by weakening our immune defenses. It contributes to problems like anxiety, depression, insomnia, and cognitive impairment. No part of our body is spared from its damaging effects long term. That's why it's so vital to have healthy outlets and coping mechanisms to keep your stress in check. Exercise, meditation, yoga, deep breathing, journaling, therapy, spending time outdoors. Find methods that work for you and practice them regularly. At a societal level, we also need to destigmatize acknowledging stress and making mental health care more accessible. Managing your stress isn't just hypothetically good for longevity. It's one of the most impactful lifestyle interventions you can make. And again, don't drink excessively. When it comes to alcohol, moderation is key for longevity. Light to moderate drinking of up to 1 drink per day for women and 2 for men may even provide some health benefits by reducing inflammation and risk of heart disease. But drinking beyond those relatively low levels comes with major longevity drawbacks that you can't ignore. Excessive alcohol consumption is a leading risk factor for premature death and a major preventable cause of cancer. Here's why. Chronic heavy drinking severely damages the liver over time, leading to conditions like cirrhosis, fatty liver disease, and liver cancer that shorten lifespan. It also significantly increases risk of cancers of the mouth, throat, voice box, esophagus, colon, and breast. On top of that, heavy alcohol use strains the heart and cardiovascular system, raising blood pressure and risk of stroke and heart failure. It contributes to weight gain and obesity while impairing sleep quality, mood regulation, and cognitive function as we get older. So, while an occasional drink or two with friends isn't extremely concerning, regularly binge drinking or having multiple drinks per day promotes inflammation, tissue damage, hormonal disruptions, and other physiological impacts that undermine our longevity over decades. If you struggle with alcohol overconsumption, there are so many resources available to help you cut back or quit entirely. Your doctor can guide you, or try peer support groups or addiction treatment programs. Reining in excessive drinking can pay huge dividends. Don't also forget to get recommended screening tests. Our final longevity tip is a vital but often overlooked one. Getting all recommended preventive health screening tests on schedule based on your age, sex, and risk factors. These tests can detect signs of serious conditions like cancer, heart disease, and diabetes in their most treatable early stages before major symptoms appear. For example, regular mammograms can catch breast cancer years before a lump is felt. Colonoscopies every 5 to 10 years after age 45 are important for removing precancerous polyps to prevent colon cancer. Routine pap smears and HPV tests safeguard against cervical cancer. Likewise, tests like skin checks, lung cancer screenings for smokers, and routine blood work looking at markers like cholesterol and blood sugar levels are crucial preventive tools for early detection and intervention. Now, no one loves getting poked and prodded. These tests can be uncomfortable, time-consuming, and expensive, but detecting and treating serious diseases as soon as possible before they spread and worsen is critically important for longevity. So don't skip or delay these vital screening tests based on your age, lifestyle factors, and family history. Talk to your doctor about which ones you need and how frequently to follow evidence-based guidelines. A little temporary discomfort can quite literally save your life. There you have it, folks, the science-backed blueprint for increasing your odds of a long, healthy lifespan. We covered a ton of vital information, from the critical importance of not smoking and getting regular exercise to prioritizing quality sleep, managing stress, and so much more. I know it's a lot to process, but here's the key takeaway. Although genes and chance play a role, adopting as many of these longevity practices as possible allows you to maximize the hand you're dealt. It requires daily diligence, for sure, but investing in your wellness pays exponential dividends over decades. If you found this information valuable and want to extend your health span along with your lifespan, smash that like button, share this video with friends and family, and consider subscribing to be notified when I release future health tips.